Hello. Hello, and welcome again to another reading from our new time travel adventure series, Time Dogz. 3 books to be released in 3 days. We're on day 2, and today is And So Does the Future, a title that probably makes more sense when you realise the first one is called The Past Sucks. This one, between now and April the 3rd, so that's before the launch of the ebooks, you can download for free from the Human Legion website. So go and visit and download and enjoy. So Time Dogz. Time Dogz is a little bit different. Just say no to the time cops, because with Time Dogz, the past is your playground. You can do whatever you want, have fun, do bad things, do good things, bring people back to the future, do whatever you want, consequence free, because it will not affect the present as the Time Dogz see the present, and the people in the past, well, you know, for the people that count in the far future, they don't care. You know, they can't complain, people in the past, so you can do what you want. So in this second book, published today, we have what seems to be a contradiction to that, because the history books are starting to say that there was an alien invasion centuries in the past, which in fact is 2362. So Vincent has very cleverly put, you can't see that very well, the principal date on the covers. So they go into 2362, Stiletto and a team of Time Dogz, and they go looking for what's going on. They think perhaps there'll be an alien invasion, they will experience a warfare when they arrive, but there's nothing. It seems to be entirely peaceful. They do know that a totalitarian regime called World Sock has control of the entire planet. They knew that, but where are the aliens? What's going on? So they start splitting up and looking for clues, as of course all good detectives do. And I'm going to read an excerpt from chapter 13, because that's where they start to get an idea of what's actually going on here. So chapter 13, let's begin. By the next morning, we were on the job. Our supervisor, name of Lance Lully, was giving directions and driving tips to Max, who was piloting the hydrogen-powered 8-wheeler, on which was proudly emblazoned Subzone 382, toilet paper reuse. Yes, that's right. Somebody in Delta Squad, the Pathfinder Squad, who imagined falsely that they had a sense of humour, had put the two of us down for a career in toilet paper reuse. I was too hungover to be embarrassed. Lully wasn't at all. Embarrassed, that is. In other time periods, sons and daughters sought to make their parents proud by establishing themselves in prestigious occupations. They became military officers and heart surgeons, elite athletes, space explorers, professors and prime ministers. Lully gave the impression that his ma and pa boasted to their neighbours about their darling boy Lance. "Oh, he's in reused toilet paper, don't you know?" Our first stop was a water treatment substation in the centre of a housing estate. Max and I brought a large plastic box from the back of the truck and carried it over to the collection of small units behind a wire fence. "It's simple," Lully said, "and simplicity has a beauty all of its own. Incoming water is tested here, and the additives put in there. All that's the Water Bureau's problem. Sewage is tested here, and this beauty," he tapped a painted metal box reeking of shit, "belongs to us. This is your trusty CRS 8000 Serious Rag Recovery System." I regarded the CRS 8000 dubiously. It consisted of a series of 12 boxes that were slotted together into a partially submerged tunnel. The gurgling flow was loud. Under Lance's supervision, we rerouted the sewage flow to temporarily bypass the tunnel. Then he put it through a series of diagnostics that mostly consisted of pulling out each of its dozen panels in turn and giving them a good shake to see if anything fell off. We wore protective gloves and company coveralls, but there was no protection for our noses. Lully seemed disappointed that neither Max nor I reacted to the eau de toilette, as he could like to call it. The stink wasn't pleasant, but we'd both experienced worse. The next task was to retrieve the almost full tank of white sludge sunken into the ground next to the tunnel and replace it with an empty one. "That's 99% pure tagged cellulose strands," he said of the sludge. "Tears easily, absorbent, but doesn't break down in water. Of course, your actual sewage contains more than the toilet paper residue. Rag, we like to call it in the trade. That's the beauty of these CRS filters. It takes out what we need and leaves the smelly stuff behind for the Water Treatment Bureau." I had to admit, the system made sense. "For your first few months, you'll have 2 tasks, Lully explained. In the mornings, you'll replace worn filters and swap out rag storage tanks. After your lunch break, you deliver our beautiful recycled product to our customers." It made a lot of sense, but as usual, I still couldn't keep my big mouth shut. "So you're saying we wipe our butts using the same paper hundreds of people before us have used to wipe the shit off theirs?" "I know," Lully beamed with pride. "Isn't that wonderful?" Suddenly, dismay began pulling at his face. "How do you not know these things?" His eyes filled with distrust. "Who are you? Why do you ask such questions?" "Because we are—" Before I could finish our prepared story, Lully cut me off with a gesture. "Not that I'm questioning your assignment from the Labour Commission. Obviously not. I'm just curious." "Max and me aren't from round here," I said. "You can say that again," Max laughed. "We were born in space on a returning colony ship. We're being resettled in Eurozone 37. Lully nodded. "That explains a lot." He beamed and spread his arms, laughing. "Welcome to Earth. I don't pretend to know what it's like in space. Off-Truth rarely mentions our off-world activities, although I'm sure they've got very good reasons. You've landed on your feet, though, boys. You've landed in toilet paper." Our morning continued in this vein. Max and I carried out these simple servicing tasks, while Lully gushed about the merits of his profession. I'm all for a person being proud of their job, but Lully took it too far. I guessed our Lance didn't get out much. We pumped him for information about aliens. "Out there somewhere, mate, but only walk the earth in books." "Wars? There's always a war going on somewhere. That's why we've all got to stick together, innit?" "And his love life." "Met a girl once on a work sighting to a sewage plant at Fengate. Women are a bit of a mystery, to be honest." We learned a lot, some of it even useful. We expected the corollary to be Lully questioning us about life in space, and we were on shaky ground if he probed too deeply. Not a problem. Lance Lully appeared delighted to be asked questions, but once we'd explained we were resettled immigrants, he didn't ask us anything about our background. The idea was so taboo that it didn't occur to him to be nosy. I drove the truck back to base for lunch, which consisted of a communal fry-up of potatoes and onions served on crusty bread. It was a nice day, so we cooked in the yard. Excuse me. The sizzle and smell carrying on the warm breeze made my mouth water. Everyone was chatting away and making us feel welcome. Nice people. Good lunch. Long one, too. Reminded me of the best times in the army. In the afternoon, it was my turn to drive. This time, we saw the other end of the job, distributing boxes of recycled paper to shops, clubs, housing associations, and more. When I asked Lully how popular our toilet paper was compared to the alternatives, he scratched his head. "What alternatives?" he said. "Our reused toilet paper is the only variety in this subzone. Why would anyone bring in paper from outside? Are you questioning the quality of our paper?" I assured him that I was not, but the truck cab was quiet on the route to the next drop-off. Fortunately, we were all best friends once again by the time we returned to base for Lully to assign the routes for the next day. The fat in the deep fryer was already bubbling away in the yard, pushing rich cooking smells into the air. The wicker basket of freshly fried doughnuts alongside would soon be emptied into hungry mouths. I began to see why our team members enjoyed ample girths. Good for them. I was fantasising about staying here indefinitely, rather than returning to the kennel, when Max kicked me in the shins and shot a loaded look at Karsuk. Hikaru Karsuk had struck me as a jovial woman, delivering the banter more than most, but not now. She looked worried, angry even. "Why do you keep giving me Alconbury?" she complained. "Quit crying like a baby. It's just another stop on the list. You know that's not true." "What's different about Alconbury?" I asked. "The smoking craters," Karsuk replied. "Hikaru!" Lully snapped. "Well, it's true. I got there the day after the incident. It looked like one of those places you see getting bombed off-truth." Lully put his half-eaten donut down on his paper napkin and got to his feet. I didn't like to speculate whether our napkins had also been fished out of sewage pipes. "You will speak of this no more," he told Karsuk. "The off-truth text feed reported that there had been an incident. Since then it has mentioned nothing, which means that there is nothing more we need to know. You mean well, Hikaru, I do understand that, but if you spread rumours and conspiracy theories, then you are acting as a disruptor." He took a deep breath and added in a small voice, "And I will be obliged to report you." "No conspiracy theories, no rumours," said Hikaru. "It's just that I'm supposed to deliver crates of paper to 4 points on the base, and 3 of them are now glassy craters. What am I supposed to do?" "You place your delivery on the edge of the crater, as close as you can to the designated coordinates. The rest is none of our business. Our assignment is to deliver to 4 separate points, and that's what we will do. End of." "Me and Max can deliver to Alconbury," I said. Lully narrowed his eyes and loomed over me. "Why would you want to do that?" A vein started throbbing at his temple. Damn. I'd assumed Lully would stay Mr. No Questions. "You will answer me," he demanded. "Do you think I'm incapable of managing the route schedule? Or do you just enjoy causing disruption?" "Neither, Mr. Lully. It's, well, Alconbury. All me and Max know about Alconbury is that it's an aerospace base, with the emphasis on space rather than aerial." "That is correct," Lully admitted. "Well, we're immigrants from space, see? You probably think we're stupid asking this, but to visit a spaceport, it's not much, but it's a connection to where we come from." Lully's anger wavered and then softened into his usual smile. "That is an excellent idea. Hikaru, tell them what to do. I'll reschedule the routes." So, what do they discover at Alconbury Base? We didn't find out. That's your lot for today. Tomorrow, we have and I do like this title, Time Travel in Rock, 1984. Featuring a visit to a Kiss concert in 1984 that, in fact, I was at. That's tomorrow, and I'll read an excerpt from that tomorrow.